presentation. Good day, Your Highness, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Keiji Kawahara, speaking from Japan. I'm an Executive Director, International Association for Universal Design, IAUD for short. And also I'm working as a professor at Nagoya University of Arts and Sciences. It is a great honor for me to have a presentation again in the second Dubai Accessible Tourism International Summit, followed by the first one in November 2019. I remember at that time, the new coronavirus was already spread in China, I believe. Due to the delay in the initial response of the Chinese government, the correct information on the coronavirus was not transmitted to the rest of the world. Anyway, we have been somehow fighting day and night to escape the fear of this coronavirus for more than 2 years. This is a map showing the current status of coronavirus infection. To speak precisely, the data is 2 days ago. You can see that it has spread to Europe, the United States, India, Brazil, and other countries. In case of Japan, the infection has not spread relatively, and the world is wondering why the number of infected people is not so large, even though the high population ratio was elderly in the super-aged society. Experts analyze that it is due to the Japanese lifestyle, that is, bowing instead of shaking hands to say hello, taking off your shoes and entering the house, and also being comfortable wearing a mask during the cold winter or hay fever seasons. The Japanese government issued the first state of emergency in April 2020, then launched a campaign to avoid the 3 C's. In other words, to avoid closed spaces, crowded places, and close contact settings. The people followed this rule as much as possible and switched their life patterns. I also introduced this government policy on our website and helped spread the campaign. When masks were scarce and difficult to obtain worldwide, IAUD translated how to make homemade masks originally broadcasted by a local broadcaster into English and Spanish, and we introduced them on our global website. When no one is aware of the threat of the coronavirus, it is an important mission of design to inform the general public how to deal with it in an easy-to-understand manner. Here is a typical example of winning the Gold Award of the IAUD International Design Award 2020. It is an information website called PAND-AID, which was launched to prevent coronavirus infection. This shows an actual certificate of Gold Award for IAUD International Design Award 2020. This is a top page of the PAND-AID website. It says PAND-AID is a collaborative editorial website, bringing together wisdom from around the world to protect lives during the coronavirus pandemic. You can see what kind of information is included from the menu on the left. Scroll down. If you click hygiene, you can get further information such as hand washing, ventilation, or keeping your home clean. Also about face shield, social distancing, mask know-how, and so on. If you click face shield, you can see the short movie, how to make a face shield from A4 clear folder. It is also an important mission of universal design to scientifically confirm the nature of the unknown virus and explain to everyone how to prevent infection rather than being afraid of it or running away. Information on the lifespan of coronavirus reveals the fact that the virus normally survives for about 72 hours, but is inactivated on the surface of metallic copper in just 4 hours, you can see. Not only copper, but also copper alloys such as brass or bronze are also effective. Copper ions generated from the surface of metal have been scientifically proven to have a bactericidal effect on viruses. Last February, about a year ago, IUD held an online international conference to talk about what design can do to prevent coronavirus infection. We invited researchers from institutes or companies that actually commercialize products to inactivate coronaviruses by the bactericidal effect of copper, ultraviolet rays, and photocatalyst. Ultraviolet rays with wavelengths of 222 nanometer almost inactivate viruses and bacteria after a few minutes of irradiation. And even if they irradiate the human body, there is almost no effect at all. Ushio Electric originally planned to release the UV product called KIDStudio in early 2021. However, in response to the spread of the new coronavirus infection worldwide, the company decided to move ahead of schedule and started production and sales in September 2020. The last summer, a product that incorporates Ushio's KIDStudio into an elevator has appeared in a building in Massachusetts, USA. It's an effective way to sterilize the air in an elevator. AeroShield is an ultraviolet irradiation device that uses normal UV rays with a wavelength of 253 nanometer. It is designed to be installed above the head of 2 meter or higher, so as not to directly irradiate the human body and to inactivate the virus floating in the air near the ceiling. AeroShield or other similar UV radiation devices are now widely installed in various public places, such as airports, stadiums, or shopping malls in Japan.
Researchers in Japan used the supercomputer Fugaku to simulate how the novel coronavirus spreads. They looked at a case in which 4 people are sitting at a dining table and talking without masks on. When someone talks to the person seated in front of them, about 5% of droplets reach the person. When talking to the person sitting diagonally, only 1/4 the amount reach the person. But when looking sideways to talk to the person sitting side by side, more than 25% of droplets reach the person. Researchers also found that fewer droplets spread when the humidity is higher. In an office setting, 6% of cough droplets reached a facing person nearly 2 meters away at 30% humidity. The amount dropped to about 2% at 90% humidity.
Fugaku is known as the fastest computer in the world and contributed by simulating the spread of the coronavirus under various conditions. In this short movie, you can see how coronavirus droplets would spread in a place like a restaurant. If there is a partition between persons, droplets would spread differently. Also, if the airflow in the room can be controlled as desired, for instance, if you put some extra fans or circulators in the room for good ventilation, the risk of coronavirus infection can be greatly reduced. Originally, the air purifier is a device that removes odors such as house dust and pets floating in the air. After 2019, devices with virus removal added to prevent coronavirus infection have appeared, showing big sales as you see in the graph. Devices that inactivate the coronavirus with ultraviolet light are manufactured and sold by several manufacturers. Daikin is a leading company of air conditioning equipment and is showing strong sales in Japan. This shows a standalone type with the UV sterilization function. And this one is a sealing type. Another standalone type made by Iwasaki Electric in the left, and then in the right, it is attached in the ceiling inside the train. Not only ultraviolet rays, but also photocatalysts are effective in preventing coronavirus infection. Quace Air is a photocatalyst sterilization system. As you see, it looks good, well designed to fit in a living room or bedside. Bacteria and viruses are decomposed by ultraviolet rays and photocatalyst into water and carbon dioxide. Sorry that it doesn't say English comment, explanation. Okay, that's it. This is a portable air purifier that you can wear around your neck. The air sucked from the side slit of this device is purified by the action of the photocatalyst, and clean air is come up from the upper slit to the face. I show you some design proposals by my university students. It is still difficult for those live house or similar entertainment business to invite many people for live performances. The concept of this product is that when it is installed on the ceiling of the live house, it strongly sucks in the air inside the room, rapidly sterilize it by the action of UV light and the photocatalyst, and release clean air to the room again. This is a device designed by another student. It is a wearable mask or face shield for playing sports. In case of, for instance, jogging, running, for instance, you have to wear a mask, but it is always awkward and stuffy or uncomfortable. So he designed to put a fan and the UV light inside of the visor. The air sucked from slit in top of the visor, sterilized by UV light. Then sterilized clean air is blown down from slits underneath to the front of the face. So you don't have to wear a stuffy mask or a face shield anymore. He actually made a prototype model and tried to do the usability test. There are various products already on the market. Some of them use UV light and some use photocatalyst. It is important to know which type of air purifier is effective in which position in the room. And also it is good to know the most effective layout for the combination of ventilation fans and circulators. Furthermore, it is desired to install them in restaurants, taverns, bars, nightclubs, and other places where many people gather together. Since the distance between people is short in a space with foods and drinks, not only the natural convection, but also the airflow controlled by computer-assisted technology and universal design is required. So the fusion of universal design and cutting-edge technology is desperately needed right now. We have to overcome this difficult situation with our wisdom and skill so that many people, including disabled and the elderly, can travel freely around the world again with peace of mind. I really hope. Thank you for your attention.